Hi, this is Martin from Martin's Engine Services. Not much happening car-wise in the workshop today, so back to tinkering with stationary engines. Thought I'd have a quick look at my pu8 universal engine, circa 1939. The PU range was sometimes called the lightweight engine, but I'm not entirely sure why, and were primarily used in military purposes for powering up a generator or compressor or a pump, and were mounted to a frame designed to be launched out of aircraft and parachuted into wherever the military needed instant power. Quite a robust engine. So it's 800cc, so imagine it's quite a potent little thing. It does run remarkably well, just considering the fact it spent I don't know how many years living in a hedge before I obtained it. Although that hadn't actually seized. It does unfortunately have some corrosion to the cylinder boards, which does mean it does tend to smoke a little bit when it's hot, but I can't do much about that. Apart from that, it runs absolutely perfectly. I have, as you will all see, converted it to electric start. Crankshaft end here, or camshaft end actually, is where you're supposed to put the starting handle. And the flywheel, although not totally visible, is an exceptionally heavy unit, and trying to start it against two compressions is quite almost impossible and quite scary. So I machined up a hub and mounted a Vauxhall Corsa automatic drive plate and matching starter motor onto this bracket I manufactured as well, and that starts it with ease. It's a much safer option. I know this probably upsets everybody completely, but I like to make these things practical, and I certainly ain't going to start whizzing around with that handle, thank you very much. I made a nice safety guard here because obviously you've got a large rotating disc with teeth on the end at kneecap height, which are obviously potentially exceptionally lethal. One other mention about lethal things at kneecap height on this, of course, it's a spark plug, so these stick out here, and when you're about that far away, they will get you, so beware. The engine features a fully pressurised pumped oil system, which is very efficient. Keeps everything in good working order, and does spin a side valve has the lovely feature, just get in there, of having the valves, exposed valve springs, valve stems, cam followers and tappet adjusters, which is quite a lovely thing when it's running to watch them going in and out. Oh, in shot there you can see the inlet tract, which is somewhat 16-18 inches long, which then goes round a quite amazing corner here, goes in round another corner into a port, up, round, out the valve and finally into the cylinder. The exhaust does feature these quite funky aluminium sort of heat exchangers or heat dispersing units when we call them, and then goes around into the crossover exhaust pipe and then into the box. I've copied here as closely as I could the original setup. I need to finish off the box with a couple of pipes on the end, but getting around to that one. The spare parts situation for these engines is almost non-existent. However, I was lucky enough to obtain new inlet and exhaust valves that were still wrapped in the original MOD packaging, which is kind of lovely, which I kept, very nostalgic. They were the only parts I desperately needed to get the engine operational. The BTH Magneto has survived remarkably well, needing only a clean-up and one new plug lead, and it functions perfectly. The carburettor was missing from the engine, and it requires a very unusual, very rare Solex unit, which is fitted predominantly to pre-war cars, which is eye-wateringly expensive. So at the moment it's got a spare Kohler K-Series unit fitted, and yes, that is a very high-tech elastic band, has a throttle return spring. I made up a simple inlet manifold conversion, and that works fine. The fuel tank was completely corroded at the bottom, was totally unrepairable, so to keep it looking as original as possible, I've actually put a smaller tank inside and sort of hidden it in there, so the original tank looks like it's all functional. So as you sort of view it, it looks good. So what I've actually done here is I've actually fitted another filler cap, the tank, under the original. That looks all nice and original, works nicely. That holds about 2.5 litres, and it has to be said this engine will consume a vast amount of fuel in a short time. And what I did read about these when they were in military use was exactly that, and they did actually fit 2 fuel tanks to try and keep them running a bit longer. I think someone I read somewhere joked these things weren't sort of gallons per day. These were gallons per hour. It still has part of its original drive coupling on the front here, where a rubber coupling would have bolted to whatever was mounted above the exhaust, but no idea that this unit actually powered. I managed to obtain this missing fan shroud actually from a guy up in Scotland who was actually breaking one of these engines. I would like to have bought the rest of it for parts, but not exactly something you can post very easily, and it was a many 100-mile round trip from West Norfolk, which was a bit of a shame, but you can't keep them all. Oh, and in the background there is the Lister G1, which I featured in a previous video, and yes, I will get around to finishing the throttle linkage off one day, honestly. Oh, and over here's the wheel horse tractor I featured as well in the previous video, which is undergoing a little bit of maintenance before the next mowing season. Just sharpen the blades, give them a clean up, check all the bearings are fine, little adjustment to the front roller, bracket, etc, etc. Just keeps everything in good working order. Keeps the old girl functioning nicely. So, oh, just in shot there is Billy Goat, my garden vacuum cleaner. A brilliant machine made back in 1970 something, American made. Fantastic machine for picking up leaves and trimmings, and also chainsaw chippings and sawdust off the workshop floor. It is a brilliant little machine, very simple, dead easy to use, no fancy gadgets. Start her up and away she goes. The bag at the moment is off because I store that separately during the winter. But a great little machine. I've done nothing to it since I bought it. Give it a clean and basic oil change, and it's always ready for action. It'll even pick leaves up off gravel without picking the gravel up, which is an absolutely fantastic asset, as I have a large willow tree which dumps about 47,000 tonnes of leaves on my gravel drive every year. Nice. You can actually fit a hose to the front of this here and blank off the bottom with a special cover which I haven't got, and use it like a conventional vacuum cleaner for round trees and bits and pieces. One of those adaptations I will get round to one day, but I haven't really needed it yet. Anyhow, back to the main engine. There was another interesting thing about these Petter engines, pu8 series, which you can actually get them in a single cylinder version, where they basically left off this cylinder barrel, blanked off the crankcase, blanked off the intake manifold, and blanked off the cam followers, fitted a counterweight to the crankshaft, and everything else was left exactly as it is, and obviously a single outlet magneto. I've seen a picture of one and it does look somewhat funny with the bits lopped off the side. But I guess it's clever engineering, because it does mean it's a lot of standard parts fit all versions of the engine, and I suppose you could convert one as necessary to a two-cylinder. I suppose in the sense of military use it makes for practicality. If you're in a battle zone or something, spares are hard to get, components can be interchanged and you can keep units running, which does make a lot of logical sense. It's a shame that modern car manufacturers can't work that way. Hint, hint. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed this little video on my Petter PU engine and a quick update on some of my other machines. Please like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.